Hello everybody and welcome back. So the new patch has been out for a little bit now and I've been playing it for a while, and well, I think it is high time that we talked about the new patch and talked about what this game is like in the new patch, how it impacted it in a positive or negative way. So this is my opinion on the Greymoor patch for PvP. So to start off, I want to say everybody is squishier, I think. Not necessarily are they really less bulky. I think a lot of the big problem sets that were dominating PvP are nerfed, which is good. A lot of the ones that gave major protection, etc., that made people a lot tankier than they should be, while still retaining the ability to have a lot of other stat invested in either damage, sustain, whatever. They essentially just had builds that were too powerful, and I think that the set changes that we saw, especially the changes to impenetrable, giving everybody base impen, has had a very positive effect on that. And the reason I say base impen is because that especially opens up people running all sorts of different armor traits. In the past, everybody just ran all impen. Well, this patch I've got 2.7k crit resist, and that is with 7 well fitted on, no impenetrable at all. And I had 2k crit resist last patch with 3 well fitted, I believe. So a big change in the base crit resist to basically encourage people, I think, to run other armor traits. You really don't need to run impenetrable this patch at all. And using traits like well-fitted, divines, etc., well, that can help you survive, that can help you deal damage. For me, it's allowed me to get the sustain that I want this patch while still preserving the damage that I want as well. So my damage and my sustain are great this patch, and it's because of the impen change. Now, I know that people could just decide to run a ton of impen, and yeah, they could stack more crit resist this patch than they had last patch. But, you know, I think the argument against it is that the damage builds they're fighting can invest into more divines this patch. So it's a trade-off that I think has had a net positive effect for sure. And that brings me to the second part of why people are squishier this patch, and that's the healing reduction. It's 60% now, not 50%. And people have a lot more trouble sustaining against the incoming damage than they used to. And I think a good way to put it is no one is really safe. If you're fighting the counter to your build, they can probably kill you. And I think that that's a really healthy change for PvP. And I think that it's a good net change as well, especially with the addition of the base crit resist, because the addition of base crit resist, like I said, means that people's stats are going to get a little bit higher. So yeah, reducing that healing power to match the increase in damage, like I said, another net positive for the game. So all in all, when it comes to the balance side of this patch, I'm going to be really honest and say I really like this patch. I think it is one of the best patches that I have played in a really long time in the balance department. And yeah, it feels a lot like 1.6 burst meta for me, but with more build diversity than we had back then. So I have to say, honestly, from a balance perspective, this could possibly be the best patch I have ever played. But I titled the video the best worst patch that I have ever played, and there's really good reason for that. The server performance this patch is, in my opinion, the worst that it has ever been in this game. I just don't know what to say. I am someone that, you know, streams this game, and I would get up at 6 in the morning to make sure that I'm there when the servers have just enough people on that I can find fights, but not too many that it starts to lag. I'm talking like 2 bar AD, 1 bar everything else, and the skill delay, I mean, the amount of times that the abilities don't fire off or your just skills don't work. I mean, Mistform just doesn't seem to work half the time, especially if someone attacks you, which seems really counterintuitive for what Mistform is used for. Well, it just makes it really hard to play my build, because my build, I have to react quickly to what's going on. And yeah, having a second of skill delay hit me every 30 seconds, it makes my favorite build that is probably in the strongest point that it has been in a very long time almost impossible to play. And that's why it's the best worst patch. I mean, I'm so excited for the balance, for the build craft in this patch, but it has just completely fallen through. I can't even play my stuff, And before it was excusable. Like, you know, we would hit lag every 5 minutes, whatever. But this is, I mean, I was in a dungeon with my best friend farming for the Wild Hunt ring, and it was just the two of us, and we have skill delay and lag, and we're not even in PvP. I mean, in this video here, this is a clip from last patch because I can't get enough fights. It's not even that the build is bad. We're so fast. I think the build is the strongest it's ever been, but we're just constantly getting our fights botched. We just can't fight properly. And I know that this experience is definitely not just me, you know? I think everybody feels it at this point. I think that the guy in the dungeon, the guy doing quests, and the guy trying to 1vx, we're all feeling the same problem in the game. And it's just sucks because ESO is quite literally the best MMO out there. It is so much fun. The combat is par none. The balance has reached a point where it's absolutely amazing. The build craft is so diverse, but it doesn't work. So yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think about this patch. I am very curious as to everyone's opinions. I know I am not the only one, at least from my stream, that has been having a tough time trying to make things work this patch. So I would love to hear what you guys think about this patch, and just from your experience. I know it hasn't hit console yet, but even console players, what do you guys think about it just looking in from the outside? I also did really want to touch on the last bit. It's not really about PvP, but it's the new Antiquities skill lines, the Scrying and Excavation. I wanted to say that I think ZeniMax did a really good job with that skill line. I know that maybe the puzzle solving looks maybe not appealing to everybody, but what the skill line really does is add value to pretty much everything in the game, in my opinion. I mean, you can get leads off of pretty much anything, and the items you get from the leads can be worth anything from nice amounts of raw gold to special mythic items themselves, and all kinds of different housing items that you can sell for bank as well. So for me, this new addition has really piqued my interest in completing a lot of the game content that I have not finished yet. I do like to finish up the zones and stuff, so I'm eager to go out there and do that right now, especially while this server is not performing very well. But yeah, I just wanted to end it on a little bit of a positive because I really do appreciate where this game has come, and I'm still always hoping that it will be better. I think that's just the gamer in me, the hardcore fan of the Elder Scrolls Online that always loves the game and wants that next thing for it, wants to always see it improve. And I think that's just the mindset that I have, not just with the game, but that's kind of how I look at life too. I always like to try to move forward with my own stuff too. So there we go. And again, I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this patch, so please let me know down in the comments below. If you guys want to send in clips for the top 5, or if you guys want to send in builds to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. If you guys are interested in keeping up to date with when I'm streaming and other shenanigans, you can check out my Twitter. Give a look-see on my Twitch if you guys want to catch that live gameplay. You can check out KristoferESO.com for written guides to my builds, as well as a hub for all of my ESO content. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first 30 days. No credit card to sign up. And last but not least, a big thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this job, so thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I am looking forward to trying to make this patch work. I think I'm going to change my build up. I'm going to make it more appropriate for the leg, and I hope that you guys enjoy what's to come. Otherwise, till next time, have a great night, guys.